Well, it looks like I'm right again. I had some people, I put a video out talking about how this Luigi guy was a patsy, and people were like, oh no, it's not a assassination. It's just a guy mad at the CEO of UnitedHealthcare for some reason. Well, of course, I'm right again. It's very simple. All you've got to do is see what the news is saying and believe the exact opposite. If they're saying that this Luigi guy did it, then Luigi didn't do it. That's how this works. And we're going to see here, we're going to see that there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. UnitedHealthcare had something going on. Biden's DOJ was targeting them. Then it got hacked. Then before they checked out to see who did the hack, Pelosi put out an options call on a security firm, and then that security firm got the contract to check UnitedHealthcare. She made $12 million. Then we're told this Luigi guy is the one that did the termination. Or then we find out that the Mangione family is friends with the Pelosi's and have been for centuries, for generations. And now we're finding out that this Luigi guy is a computer specialist. Was he involved with the hack that targeted UnitedHealthcare in the first place? Now we see even more weird stuff going on. Let's check it out. This is Minutes of Horror. This guy is amazing. Let's check it. Please like, share, and subscribe.
We are going to be looking at some disturbing videos, strange and odd news stories, and as always, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. For many of us, especially those subscribed to this channel, we find the whole incident involving the UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson and Luigi Mangione to be rather off, to be rather suspicious. Well, Luigi Mangione was reported missing on November 18th, 2024 in San Francisco. 2 days later, this individual here, Jessica Tisch, she became the New York City Police Commissioner after Edward Caban had stepped down after being investigated. Now, if you were subscribed to me back then a couple months ago, you'll remember I covered this story quite extensively, where we had Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, and Edward Caban, the previous police chief commissioner. They were constantly being raided. They were constantly being investigated to the point that, again, Edward Caban had stepped down. Well, Jessica Tisch, she steps up, and out of nowhere, she becomes the new police commissioner. Now, why I say out of nowhere happens to be because she's never walked a beat. She was never a police officer, but she becomes the police commissioner. She also has some rather interesting ties. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play this news story, this news clip, and then we're going to go down a rather interesting rabbit hole.
She's the commissioner, and the first to rise through the ranks as a civilian. She never walked a beat, never made an arrest. But after attending her first roll call as commissioner today, she told me her experience is even more valuable in understanding the tens of thousands of men and women she swore an oath to lead.
I know how to run an agency, and I understand that we are on our fourth commissioner. I'm here to settle it down and provide stability and consistency. That's a big part of the job.
The message to the 35,000 cops in that regard is what?
The message to the 35,000 cops is keep doing the work you're doing. In me, you have a commissioner who's going to support you, who's going to get you the resources you need to do your important work. And the message to New Yorkers is our cops are out there to make you safe, to make you feel safe, to improve your quality of life. Fear has no place on our streets.
That's right. She is the first ever civilian to become a police commissioner in the United States. Rather interesting timing with everything currently going on, again, with United Health Group and Luigi Mangione. But let's go ahead and look at some rather interesting ties. This first very interesting video is from Antonio on TikTok.
It's one big club, you're just not invited. This is Jessica Tisch, the police commissioner for New York City. She comes from one of the richest families in America with an estimated net worth of $10.1 billion. Her last name is on schools, hospitals, and facilities all throughout America. The NYU Tisch School of the Arts is named after her relatives. It's partially named after her grandfather. He was a billionaire and CEO of CBS. Him, along with his brother, founded the Lowe's Corporation. Not to be confused with the home improvement store. Not the same thing. They're a conglomerate that's big in finance, pipelines, and hotels. The Tisch Cancer Center at Mount Sinai and the Tisch Children's Central Park are all named after her relatives. Her cousin, Steve Tisch, is the co-owner of the New York Giants. Now, Jessica Tisch is taking a very unconventional route than most of her relatives. She went to Harvard, then Harvard Law School, then Harvard Business School. In 2008, she did join the NYPD. In 2014, she became the Deputy Commissioner for Information and Technology. She went on to become the Sanitation Commissioner, and now she's NYPD Police Commissioner after Edward Caban had to resign. But I made this video because it's one big club.
One thing he also happened to have left out, I think he did anyway, I have to go back and look at the video, but her last name, her family, they are also a part of a hospital, NYU Tisch Hospital. Very interesting, right? You would think there would be a conflict of interest given the fact that NYU Tisch Hospital has many contracts with UnitedHealth Group. But this gets a little bit more interesting. Let's look at this next video by Mr. Corbetti, Truth Seeker.
All right, so I might be a conspiracy theorist, but I don't have a conflict of interest. Not like Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, whose brother Andrew is the chairman of the Lowe's Corporation. Billionaire brother Andrew. Now, he is also on the board of trustees of the New York Police Federation. Now, they hosted a gala in 2019 where Andrew was the host with his then former wife, Ann. They had donors. Guess who one of the donors was? UnitedHealthcare. Guess who Andrew's company, Lowe's Corporation, guess who their healthcare provider is? You can't make it up. Also, Jessica's background before she became the NYPD commissioner is in cybersecurity. We know that in February 21, 2024, we know that UnitedHealthcare had a cyber breach. I'm sure that she was well aware of that, having been an expert in cybersecurity. Also, in 2022, Jessica Tisch was fined for having a conflict of interest. So she's established a pattern of having a conflict of interest. Her family is involved with UnitedHealthcare, and she is gathering the evidence with the NYPD Blue, I said NYPD Blue, against Luigi Mangione. This is not proper. This is a conflict of interest, if there was one. I mean, what do I know? But to me, that doesn't sound right. So when I saw this, it made me think to myself, wow, he must have something to say. So I took another look at the New York City Police Foundation Gala from 2019 to see who might have been a guest. Interesting. BlackRock. BlackRock also is an owner of UnitedHealthcare. Vanguard, also an owner of UnitedHealthcare. And wouldn't you know that both of them are owners of Lowe's Corporation, which is run by Andrew Tisch, cousin of Jessica Tisch, the New York City Police Commissioner, who we know has a conflict of interest, a professional one, because in 2022, she paid a fine for having a conflict of interest. So this goes way deeper and bigger than anything that we know.
So not only does the first ever civilian to become a police commissioner in the United States have some rather interesting ties, but now we have the BlackRock connection. BlackRock has been in some rather interesting stories lately. Not only did their name appear during the Maui fires as being a part of this whole land grab, but they also appeared during the Trump rally shooting on July 13th when the supposed suspect, Thomas Matthew Crooks, appeared in one of their commercials. Now we have this interesting tidbit. This rabbit hole runs very, very deep, and as it's been said, it's one big club, and we are not a part of it. In this first disturbing video clip, I have covered many different topics on this.
Very interesting. We're seeing all kinds of connections, all kinds of maneuvering happening here with this whole thing. This Tisch is the first civilian police chief in the United States. Her family is worth $10 billion. What does she want to be the police chief of New York for? She wouldn't. Common sense would tell you that she graduated Harvard Law School. Her brother is a billionaire. They're all billionaires. They own hospitals and half owner of the New York Giants. They own New York City. We see that they have connections with UnitedHealthcare. UnitedHealthcare was a donor. Are they trying to cover that up? Are they trying to cover? And then BlackRock, of course, is involved. BlackRock's involved with everything. He made the Maui connection, the land grab going on there, where I did a video where I showed that direct energy weapons were used to take out Maui. Now we see BlackRock's involved with that land grab. I've also made videos that show conclusively with evidence that the Hurricane Helene was created to smash the Asheville area, so then other companies could come in and take the mining rights away. We also see Vanguard was involved with that mining rights deal where they're coming to get that land. So we also see that BlackRock was involved with the attempted Trump termination. I've also seen videos where supposedly, this isn't confirmed yet, we have found out that some of the drones that are happening in the New Jersey area are also connected to BlackRock. So what we're starting to see is BlackRock is one big major criminal organization that's involved with politicians and with intelligence agencies, trying to take out political opponents with terminations, trying to land grab, use technology to destroy areas so they can move in and take it for the mining. And so there it all is. We see that this guy is a patsy. That's not the same guy that terminated this guy. This guy's probably CIA. And now we've got a woman who's in a family that's worth $10 billion, wanting to be becoming the police chief, the first civilian police chief of the biggest, and not just of any city, of the biggest city in the world. She would never want to be a police chief unless there's something else going on. She wants to be there to see what to steer the investigation and stop any investigations that are going to be bad for her family and for BlackRock. It's very obvious. It's common sense. So please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next Ultra Top Secret. I love being right all the time. It's not too hard. All you got to do is see what the news says and do the opposite and think the opposite of what they're saying.